Hello, Atlas, Orthodontics, and Holistic Ortho family. I'm Dr. Alex. It's my wife, Cristina, and we are in part 2 sharing about the fire that we had here at the office in 2023. Make sure you watch part 1 to get all the details of what happened. Now we're going to be talking more about kind of some of the lessons and things that we walked away with, some of our reflections looking back now about 2 years later. So you kind of left us with a hook last time. We had a baby.
So going into my third trimester is exactly when we had the fire. So I literally started my third trimester when the fire happened. So we walked through that third trimester, out to here, just working on rebuilding, trying to figure out our plan, not only for the office, but also, moving rooms around, getting, the nursery ready, just all the preparation that goes into that. And so that was...
And at this point, we have 5 children, right?
Yes. So we had 5 children plus the baby on the way in just a few months in February. And, it was a really demanding time for Dr. Alex. So it was also very exciting to know that we had, new life ahead, a new season, and it was very parallel to what was kind of coming for a new office and all of that. So anyway,
I was birthing an office.
And I was birthing a baby.
Okay.
So then I had the baby on my birthday, end of February, and we walked into our newborn season, which many of you parents know, you do not sleep very much during your newborn days. And yeah, it was hard. I'll just be really honest. My hope and prayer was that this whole office would be done before the baby came. But that was something that I learned, was that I had to release my expectations. I had to let go of what I was white knuckling this plan and what it was going to look like. And the longer I held on to that, the more frustrated I became. And so until I could release that to God and adapt and pivot with the situation, the more that I was able to have peace, the more I was able to just embrace the daily life and be present. And so I think that was one of the lessons I learned, was to just receive from God and trust Him for my daily bread, what I needed for that day, not what I wanted, but what He knew that I needed, and He supplied everything that we needed. Now I want to hear some of the things that you learned during this experience, because I know that God was really growing and stretching you throughout this whole trial and challenge.
Totally. So I think this was a time when I really walked away with 2 main things. Number 1 is it's really important to have faith and to have hope. And so in the midst of all the emotions, it's really important to experience the emotions, to go through the fear and the sadness and the anger and all the different emotions, and even all the gladness that surrounded that season, all the beautiful things and all the good things. So just experience the emotions, but when there's difficult things, don't allow yourself to get into the toxic space of depression or hopelessness. Don't go there. Don't just take one step at a time. Surround yourself with the people that are going to encourage you, that are going to help you. You can't do it on your own. So that was lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is you have to recognize that when you're going through a difficult situation like that, any type of trauma, any type of anything that has so many unknowns and uncertain elements, you have to realize your own limitations. Yeah. So I'd never been through that before. I'm not an expert in construction. I mean, I've done construction, but I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert with insurance. I don't know about all the legal things that had to do with the fire and making all the restitution and the restoration all work. And even if I did, I probably couldn't make the right decision. You know how they talk about you don't want to be your own doctor, you don't want to be your own lawyer, you just need someone who's a little bit detached speaking into it. And so I have a friend who is really great at construction, and I was able to bring him budgets, plans, and he was able to give me insight and guidance and direction, and really help me make the right decision about how to move forward with construction. And I have my attorney and I have my accountant, and they were able to help me with their things. And so just having
team.
Having a good team, knowing who in your life could be a resource during this time, and just kind of figuring out, who do I talk to about this? Who do I talk to about that? And, whether you're going through a health crisis or a family crisis of some sort, surrounding yourself with the people that have proven themselves to be trustworthy over time, and going to those people and allowing them to speak into your life is something that's really valuable and really required in order to be successful as you go through a process like that.
Yeah, I agree. And going back to your first lesson, something that it made me think of was just every day we have a choice when things don't go our way. Are we going to feel sorry for ourselves and wallow, or are we going to choose joy? And we actually have a daughter named Joy, and we named her Joy. She was born right during all the whole 2020 health situation, and we named her Joy because it means gladness regardless of circumstances. And so we chose joy, not just for our daughter, but in the situation, because it's not just about happiness and feelings, it's about a choice that we make, and we don't want to choose self-pity. So that was a really empowering thing for us to remember during this time. And it was hard. It was really hard.
Yeah.
And we struggled through, but I'm glad that we're through it.
Absolutely. And you have to remember that when you're vulnerable like that physically, because you're not sleeping or because you're overwhelmed with decision fatigue, from a spiritual point of view, that is a very vulnerable time as well. And so that's a time when Satan is going to really try to come and attack your faith, attack your relationship with God, really try to bring you down. So you have to just be aware of that and know how important it is to be in the Word, to read the Bible, to pray. And another thing that really speaks and ministers to me personally is music. So just listening to hymns, listening and worshiping the Lord and praising Him, even in the midst of a difficult season. And I know that many of you have walked through things that are far more difficult than what we experienced here. And I want to recognize that, in the grand scheme of things in life, what we experienced, our kids are healthy, we're healthy, no one died. It was just a building, right? But it was a difficult thing and we can still learn from it. Really, really important that what you feed yourself, the messages that you allow to come into your head, what kind of music you listen to, what kind of media you're looking at, what kind of movies, who you're allowing to speak into your life is really important, because it's either going to come from God or from the enemy. And so you have to choose life, you have to choose hope, and you have to choose joy in the midst of difficulty. It's the only way.
Those are awesome things to learn and to remember just moving forward in our life and for whoever's watching. How did this affect Atlas Orthodontics, just our vision, our mission, what we're doing here? Like, how would you say what happened through the fire and just the rebuilding process? How did that impact, where we're going and what we're doing?
I think it impacts us even today. 2 years later, we have not just a new office and new equipment and everything, but we have a new outlook, because we were in a situation where we had to make do with less than we were used to and still produce the same results, still try to produce the same experience for the patients. And by the grace of God, I feel like we're able to do that through that process. We're able to still serve the patients. New patients kept coming. New people came into our Atlas family, and they trusted us even in the midst of being in a temporary office. And now, looking back, if we have something that's difficult that we have to walk through, it's a milestone. It's a marker. We can say, hey, you know what? We did this. Like, this is nothing. God brought us through this. God will provide for what we have ahead today, when there's something that doesn't go according to plan, or someone's sick or whatever. It just gives you this perspective. And it's so important to remember these trials and things that you go through, because it gives you a vision, a perspective moving forward, and you just live your life differently. You work and you live and you love and you experience the way you live very differently.
Yeah, and we really saw our team shine through so much. I mean, we can't say it enough how amazingly loyal they were to the patients and to what we're trying to do to really love and care for our patients. And so I think we just really appreciated our team even more. I mean, we always loved them and appreciated them, but I think this was another deepening of that. Like, wow, they really were so strong. Okay, so here we are 2 years later, and we just celebrated that baby's second birthday and my birthday as well. But we are just so much stronger, I think, as a family coming through that, because our kids saw that we are real people and that we struggle and that we are not having all the answers every day. We're just learning, and the desperation and prayer and in just like coming before God saying, we need you, and we don't know, the next steps, but God, we trust that you're going to show us. And so I think that was a really good lesson even for our kids to see us working through, and yet having faith that God would show us, and he did. So that was really a cool blessing in our family. But what's your perspective with Atlas?
At Atlas, I feel like, number one, I'm grateful that our team and our patients stuck with us through the process. They were patient, they were gracious. I'm grateful for my neighbors who helped me provide that temporary office, and then also provided a lot of emotional support and encouragement as we were going through it. And now looking back, I'm grateful that we were able to learn the things that we did as we went through it. I feel like we're stronger, we're better, we're more efficient, we're better able to serve our patients. And I'm really excited for the season ahead. I'm really excited that we get to tell the story now on the back end. It's a lot easier if, as those of you who've gone through difficult things, that over time you look back and you have a different perspective. So I'm grateful for the perspective that we have now, and grateful to be a part of this community. If you'd like to experience what Atlas Orthodontics has to offer, if you need orthodontic treatment, come visit us, come see us for a consultation. We'd be honored to meet with you and to serve you. And make sure to like and to subscribe to our channel for more content just like this. God bless you.